So how do you protect your equity when you're going through a divorce? That's what we're going to be discussing in thecreditjungle.com today. Thanks for joining. This is George Anderson. And it happened again last week. Several times a year I will get a past client calling me, letting me know that they're going through a divorce situation. I had one of my clients call me last week. Same thing. Things aren't working out. They bought a house together 3 years ago. She was the only one on the loan, but they're both on title. And whether they were both on title or not, both on the mortgage or not, at least in the state of Utah, the equity in that home at the time of divorce is going to have to be split, and hopefully they can come to terms on how they want to split that. The question is what's the best way to do that so that you get the best terms on the loan? And if you're trying to compensate a little bit for any extra payments that have been made or any extra family support that has been made, which is the case with the lady in this situation, there's a much better way to structure this. Most people feel like, well, let's go and get an appraisal, get the house appraised, we'll figure out what the value is, how much we owe, and then each spouse is going to quibble over how much equity they want and everything like that. And if you try to do the loan before the divorce decree is finalized, depending on that loan to value, you're not going to get the best interest rate on the loan because you are pulling out cash and you're not paying off any type of an equitable lien. So there's an order to do this, to do it in the right way, and this is how you do it. So she explained the situation to me. They agreed that the ex-spouse would be getting about 40% of whatever the equity is. What I suggested is to go back to Amy, who was the real estate agent that she had worked with when we bought it, talk to Amy about this, and of course she's happy to help, and asked her to do a CMA, a comparable market analysis, and come up with a value without using the appraiser. Now, the value, we suggested that price it, do a fair valuation, but do it maybe based on trying to sell the home quickly, maybe favoring a little bit less equity, so that dollar amount would be a little bit more conservative for the person who's keeping the house. The bankruptcy courts, or the divorce courts, don't take into consideration the selling costs of the house. And there's costs if somebody's going to sell it. So I thought 40% was a fair number on this. Haven't seen the value that Amy's going to come up with yet. But the idea is come up with a value, agree upon that, and then agree upon a dollar amount, not a percentage. Take that number, go to court, get your divorce decree finalized, and then have that dollar amount listed in there in the divorce decree as an equitable lien. When you do it that way, and then you come to the lender after you have a court-signed divorce decree, the balance on that loan plus the equitable lien, we're going to be pulling out cash to pay off that equitable lien, but it's not a cash-out refinance anymore. What we're going to do is end up saving the client maybe a quarter, sometimes 0.3% on the interest rate of that loan, because we are refinancing a court-ordered debt. We don't have to record a trust deed or anything else. We just need the divorce decree with the dollar amount. So the benefits of doing it this way for the client who's going to retain the home is that they're not doing an appraisal that could end up hurting them, and working with an appraiser who would hate to do it. They don't like to do appraisals to determine a value for a divorce because they don't want to get called into court if the thing gets ugly. But we go ahead and get the divorce finalized, come up with a value, and then refinance the loan after we've established the dollar amount of the equitable lien that the spouse who is vacating the property needs to get paid out. That's the best way to do these things. And when I'm doing a loan for you, I'm always going to advocate for my client that I'm doing the loan for. And in this case, we're going to hope to save this lady, $10,000, maybe $15,000 in her cost of what she might have to end up paying out for this. But she's also going to be saving some money and getting a better interest rate on the loan. So thanks for coming into thecreditjungle.com today. Hope that you never have to deal with this, but if you know people who are, remember, they can push a button, get a mortgage professional, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks so much and have a great day.